next to this man here, Big Eddie. And how about this for a story? 3 years ago, he was working in a garlic factory, and now he's playing in a Final Four of a European Championship. He's come out of beach volleyball retirement to play with Popov, and over the last couple of years, their performances have got better and better. This is the best appearance from a Ukrainian side at a European Championships. It's a big game for them today. Well, yesterday Luini played one of his finest games, siding out on the left side, playing as a blocker. He made 2 or 3 great blocks on Ansmol. He's still just 22 years old. He's had a turbulent season with 2 different partners already, but he's coming through and he's flourishing. Luini makes his way out into the Red Bull Beach Arena after surprising a few yesterday. He's playing with this man here who a year ago didn't know if he would be playing again. A hernia growing in an awkward place of the back, and the doctors told him he might not play beach volleyball again, but here he is playing for the Netherlands in a Final Four of a European Championship, looking to go one better than the silver that he got with regular partner Stefan Boermans in 2021. Luini De Groot is a fine side-out player and an excellent defender. He'll be playing on the right side for this Dutch side. 2 defenders up against Big Rez at the net. It'll be interesting to see if they can do it again without a full-time blocker, but they did beat Norway yesterday with the best blocker in the world, Anders Mol, hitting against them. Interesting times here. The fans are in no matter what. Let's go, Vienna. It's the best place to watch beach volleyball in the world, and we have a fantastic Sunday coming up. Well, why play on Luini, who just gave the thumbs up to me on the bus on the way here. Feels very calm. He's very assured in himself, and he knew yesterday that they needed to put in a good performance and they needed the Vikings to have an off day, and they did have a off day by Viking standards. But what a performance as this team, led by 2 former European champions, Michael van der Quip and Reindeer Nummerdo 95. Michael van der Quip won this with women's head coach Marco Kluk. But the Dutch haven't won a European Championships since 2010. That's good from Popov. What a touch from Big Rez. Luini now, second chance, just squeezes one through the angle, and this is something that the Dutch left-siders can do all day long. They can fade the ball, slide it away from the body and from the blocker, and hit this sideline. Good start this for Luini. Well, Popov, Reznik, the surprise package on 2, Big Eddie in this competition, but they had to beat another surprise package in the Bello brothers from England. England's best finish in the European Championships this year, with 5th for the Bello brothers, but they just fell short yesterday against an impressive Ukrainian performance, and that's Popov serving an ace on Luini De Groot. The Bello brothers coming past Dutch powerhouses Brouwer Musen, former world champions in 2013, on the outside courts 2 days ago to set up the quarterfinals with Popov and Reznik. And then away from the body, that's a great swing from Luini De Groot. Speaking to him earlier on, usually a left-sider, and he says, I'll play on the right side until I miss a couple of side-outs, and then I'll take the reverse set to get back to his comfortable position. Popov passing off the net. Good blocking. Great cover from Reznik as well. Absolutely outstanding from Big Eddie. And back on one from Popov, but he hasn't sunk it. Luini has sunk it. And the surprise package from the Netherlands strike again. For this young pairing, not only have they never played a competition together, they've never trained together either until this week. They've trained against each other an awful lot, the Dutch program being absolutely one of, if not the strongest in the world in terms of depth of talent. I'm sure there'll be a few arguments about that, but Big Eddie Reznik absolutely thumps one into the angle away from the body, and there's not many players that can sort of hit those angles from a straight-on approach from a central position, but, well, Reznik resonates at a very, very high zone. 6'9", Big Rez. He comes in to try and make a block, and again, Luini tries to go off body around the block, and where it's worked so well so far, looks like Big Rez has started to cause a few issues up there. Reznik, the best blocker in the Final Four at the moment, with 33 blocks in this competition. You compare that to Luini with 21. You sort of get a feel with how these teams are going to play, but you have to also take your hat off to Luini and Luini De Groot, because they're siding out at 68%. First ball side out, that is. Reznik hits cross body. Luini gets stopped by Popov, and Popov is so smooth in the way that he operates away from the body. 32 years old today, 6'2", which is a small man in today's standards of beach volleyball. But Luini signing out first ball at 68%. That's huge from Luini De Groot, whose first ball side out percentage, just like that, is 61% throughout this competition. And that's outstanding stats, but it has to be when you haven't got a big blocker. Move Big Rez across 7 or 8 meters, and he might just struggle to penetrate the net. Popov. High-handed defense, but once again, one of the beautiful things, no wonder Big Eddie's fired up for this one. It's probably the biggest match of his career, but Popov has this incredible control on him, and he might not have the sharper angles from here. He certainly doesn't have a sharper angle, but he just creates something from nothing by going deep to the face of Luini De Groot. Big Rez going for the spin serve. It's going to be difficult for him to hit the spin serve, then have to travel, track the back set another 4 or 5 meters to make the block. You know exactly what the Dutchies are doing here. They're moving Reznik around, and they're trying to stop him from running the game in the blocking department. And if you compare the stats this week, Paolo Nicolai, one of the best to ever do it in this Final Four, 18 blocks for him so far. And Jonathan Helvig has only made 5 blocks in this competition, but the Swedes have sided out at 79% and 70% first ball side out. That doesn't even count when the opposition make a defensive touch and play it back to you and then you score. Side out the phase of the game when your team receive service, and that's just ridiculous from them. But that's what we expect now from the Swedes, looking to retain their European Championship. Luini just sat on the sharp angle. It was a good late move. He's always moving off the ball, trying to track Big Eddie, and Big Eddie stays over the top. But Luini De Groot has seen it. It's tight from Leon Luini, and that's probably one of the weaknesses of the game of the Dutchies at the moment. And you can understand why. Luini, not being a blocker, just struggles with his footwork to get around the ball when they do make a dig. And that's just due to a lack of experience. You can't really blame him for that, but when it is tight, Rez is in the game, and you can see the frustration from Luini. Luini will now go back to the left side, something that he's very comfortable with. Popov just makes a little bit of a shift to the line. A wider set again, trying to move Reznik around, and it's working. The ball's not too tight there from the Netherlands. And it just allows De Groot to go over the top. Let's have another look. Good control. And Reznik's always shuffling to try and get in front of De Groot. And then he goes over the top. It's good tactical work so far from the Dutch pairing. Reznik passing slightly off. Big crush into the angle. And although they haven't got the block to deal with Reznik, we saw the Bello brothers have a similar tactic yesterday, trying to wear Reznik down a little bit, make him tired by making him block, making him move, making him side out, and also he's jump serving as well. So he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting, Reznik, at the moment. There's an error from Luini. And Reznik somehow can deal with all that heavy lifting and still start to command the game. They'll also feel, the Netherlands, that if they can serve to certain areas, maybe run the ball short on Reznik or make him uncomfortable with some deep serves, then he might just lose his approach rhythm and lose some of his height. And bring the defense into the game a little bit more. Luini with the jump serve out the back. We've made the first technical timeout here in Vienna, and it's Popov Reznik by 1, but there's a lot of beach volleyball left in this one. Big Rez started well. Popov is always nice and calm. Everyone, all 4 of these players, look like they're ready to battle here in the Red Bull Beach Arena, and the fans are definitely there with us. Good matchup this. 2 great side-out players playing double defense without a block. Stefan Bowmans, who Jurik De Groot one-starred with just a couple of years ago, out injured. Luini's new partner, Christian Varenhorst, also just aggravated a back injury as of late. So we hope that Varenhorst gets well soon. One of the best players of this generation, Christian Varenhorst, for sure, alongside Bram Musen. There's so much depth and history to the Dutch program. And one would feel that both teams can play like they have absolutely nothing to lose here. They've exceeded expectations to make the semi-final. Popov telling me that his phone's been going off the hook since making the semi-final. And let's see how this second half of the set shapes up. Leon Luini again this time. Have a look at the way that they're running their offense, making everything so difficult for Reznik. It comes at a risk, but the ball control is perfect. Popov's in the right spot, but again, so much movement means it's difficult to become stable and make a good touch of the ball. Close. There's certainly some big serving from the Dutchies. That's absolutely no surprise. Steven van der Velde, Matthew Immers made the quarterfinals yesterday morning, losing out to Kodafava Nikolai. It's just been one of the most surprising Euro beach volleys that I've ever seen, that's for sure. Jurik De Groot from the centre. We'll look for Reznik here, stays high off Reznik. And that's another smart swing. He hits steep, he's going to get roofed. If he can stay fast and high, he might get the rubber to green, and that's exactly what happens here. Smart swing. It's interesting watching Luini and De Groot. They both had their fair share of frustrations with Jurik De Groot obviously being out for a year with that hernia injury. And then now Stefan Bowman's injured. And they're trying to get as much rhythm and as many points they can towards an Olympic run. And then Luini, who started the season with Ruben Penninger, then changing to Christian Varenhorst, and Varenhorst being injured, meaning that it looks like they're going to miss the world champs, just not having played enough. Great touch from Luini. Great touch from Luini De Groot. What a set that is. Puts him right on the money. Big Rez breaks. And this from Luini, what a cover. 33 blocks in the competition for Big Eddie before this game. Luini will know he has to cover everything. That might have just shifted some momentum. Popov. Smooth, calm. It's exactly what we know Popov for. Played a long time with Gordiev, another big blocker. Pretty much the same height as Reznik, but they last played in Moscow. Ace from Reznik. Enjoying every moment here. It's a high spin serve. De Groot thinking that one's long. But it's a big dipper. Popov Reznik by 2. That's what Reznik can really do. They've had to go back on Popov because Reznik couldn't be stopped in the side out, but it also gives him wings to fly behind the baseline with his serve. The fans are in, and I mean, this is has been here in Vienna. Quite temperamental conditions. Thunderstorms yesterday. Everyone held on, came out. We had a full house for the women's final and for the men's quarterfinal yesterday for the Beach Volley Vikings against the Netherlands. Today we have these high winds, but for me at the moment, I don't see anything that really affects the ball flight. Eddie Reznik. Great timeout from Luini De Groot just to stop Reznik before he gets carried away. He slows his momentum down. Makes an error post timeout. And it was only really a couple of years ago that Luini was playing in futures tournaments, the third tier of the Beach Pro Tour, and his fast improvements have been well and truly noted worldwide in this sport. Big Rez. If he passes that ball anywhere in the first couple of meters, watch out. Ukraine by 2. Popov having a look at his toss there. Not quite happy with it. Still need a break though, Luini De Groot. Great serve from De Groot, but for someone at 6'9", Reznik passes the ball so well. He covers the ball so well. Big Rez, can you? Oh my word. You take your applause, Eddie Reznik, because that is outstanding. 6'9", but so subtle. And he puts the ball away in transition. We don't get to see the dig again, but it was unbelievable from Reznik. And good reply from Luini, just going away from the body. A trademark for Dutch left-siders. Bang the sharp angle. Popov. Change of service. And this is incredibly smart from Popov. Again, there'll be an understanding there. They're very well organized, the Ukraine, but they know that Luini isn't a blocker, so these movements, not just the blocking that's going to feel a little bit unnatural for him, it's going to be the landing, the turning, things that he doesn't train on a daily basis. So they're targeting Luini in the block. Luini is banging the ball back on two, and the side-out play of the Dutchies really keeping them alive here. Serve down the middle, trying to take the angles away from Popov, but he goes on the back set. Parked in the angle, Čolовіки De Groot. Parked in the angle is Popov, but the long lever of Reznik sends it a little bit long. That's the break that the Netherlands were waiting for. Good patience defensively from both players, but the errors come from the Ukraine. Serve, long angle, inside. Popov goes back into the angle, but this time he just turns it away from Čolовіки De Groot with a little bit of speed. You have to say, Popov is just so calm every time the camera goes to him. Big Rez now standing down, trying to limit the errors and try and make a block here. Again, it's a faster tempo. And you can see once more that they're just trying to change the zone that they're hitting from and take Big Rez with them. Not too bad from Reznik, trying to work into the angle, but getting beaten straight down the middle. Popov, 19-0, huge point. Big side out at a huge time from Popov. He's been outstanding. And with Reznik at 6'9", he's so steady for someone of his height. Popov just gives him so much stability in everything he does as well. A missed serve though. And we go to overtime, just like we had so many sets yesterday in the women's competition that went to the wire. Vienna loves it. Ace on Reznik. Pressure's a funny thing. And Čolovіki De Groot just has a short contact. It's firing. And Reznik doesn't want it. Sits back. And the ball goes astray. First set point now for the Dutchies. Popov in system. Back set, jumbo, audacious move from Popov at this time of the game. And it's the two defenders who have never played a competition together before that take the opening set here in Vienna in the semi-final of the European Championships. Čolovíki De Groot stays aggressive, stays fast with the arm. And his rewards is the first set. Well, there's a confirmation. 2 errors in a row, really, from the Ukraine. Lets Luini De Groot straight in, smash and grab stuff. Great entertainment. There are the stats. More attacking work. Just the one more block from Reznik. They are subduing him by moving him. That's for sure. And one block in that opening set tells us everything we need to know. Well, let's have a look at the service placement. That one ace deep on Čolovíki De Groot, but it's been Luini that's had most of the ball. The 2 aces, one down the middle and one deep. So far, it'll be interesting to see if they do stay on Luini so much. And De Groot, Luini have the lead here in what would be a real surprise package. They surprised us last night. They're playing with incredible confidence. as Popov gets the serve again, set slightly tight. The Ukraine are going to have to come out here firing, and it's a real smart move, chipping the ball on the cut shot from Popov. It's going to be intriguing to see how they're feeling and performing after losing the opening set. Do they step up and walk towards the pressure now? Or do the Dutchies storm away with it? Big Rez off the hands once more. He had such an influential game yesterday against the Bello brothers. He hasn't quite taken over in the block, and that's because the Dutch have great ball control and they're moving this ball offensively across the net really well. Big Eddie, big serve. Luini a little bit out of rhythm, but those situations aren't too bad at all because the ball still passed forward. He still can have a look because the ball's in front of him. Still has the rhythm that he can turn the ball, and we know that he likes to go away from the body. His arm swing certainly allows him to do that. Good side out, great setting from Luini De Groot. We've seen that 2 or 3 times, haven't we? Dutchies off to a great start, looking for that first gold since 2010. Wide for Reznik. Overhand defense, Leon Luini. He is awake in the block and he is ready. There's a discussion going on here. I think on a lift from Popov. Popov serve deep. We'll be under a little bit of pressure there. The set's a little bit too far off the net and it allows the defense to get involved in the game. Popov makes a dig as well though, and this is his chance. And that's just wide of the mark. A couple of errors creeping in here. Good work all around. But Popov from that inside position really had to try and go for the sideline. It missed just by a whisker. Popov again, serve straight down the line, ace! And the float serving is what's causing the problems here for the Ukraine. A 5-2 end for Luini De Groot. And my word, who would have thought this at the beginning of the week? Luini De Groot serving, knocked out in the round of 12 in the Beach Pro Tour in Montreal last week with Matthew Immers. Luini losing out in the first round qualifier with Varenhorst. But now they're looking like a team possessed and they've never even played together. This is dangerous for the Ukraine if their heads start to go and they become a little bit despondent. Leon Luini is all over that tight set. In a week of surprises, this would maybe be the biggest of them all for Luini De Groot. 6-2. You can just see that Ukraine trying to steady the ship a little bit with a timeout. It's interesting with the tournaments coming thick and fast. Montreal finished on Sunday, and a week later the players have already played 4 days here in Vienna. And all of the teams from Europe that played on the Sunday or the Saturday in Montreal haven't made the final day here this week. Maybe a little bit of jet lag after that Elite 16. won by Anders Mol, Christian Sorum, getting their payback on the American pairing, who are improving very, very quickly. Partain Benesh. Reznik passes into a great zone, unstoppable if he gets the first ball into that front zone. You've got a 6'9" gentleman with a heavy arm running towards you. Luini knows he's not going to be high enough to stay in the zone there. It's a real good bailout for Reznik, or a go-to swing is just to stay high. Reznik, is there a touch off the block? No. As Luini De Groot tries to carve that one back, across body. Just a little bit out of rhythm. Luini in a little bit too early on the set. Just a sign that they haven't done so much training together, but no surprises that he goes on the reverse set. Good blocking from Reznik again. Popov just out of reach this time. They're really battling for every ball. Luini De Groot, not everything is perfect, but they don't need it to be, but they are fighting. They lead by 3. Big Eddie, what a touch. Luini De Groot, one arm stab from the center, and then the high line to seal it. Yorick makes it look easy. Luini straight on Popov once more. Penetrating in to make a block. Sharp angle from Popov. Another dig from Luini De Groot. Good setting, it's tight, and that's when Reznik comes into the game. But, my word, Luini De Groot just sitting on the sharp angle. It's Luini that goes chasing this time, as we've seen from Luini De Groot so many times. But hello, Big Rez. There's no getting past the Ukrainian wall when the set's that tight. As we said, they're not giving up on any ball whatsoever. They are hustling hard, the Dutchies. Back to the sharp angle goes Popov. Back in touch by 2. Change of ends in the men's semi-final. And you do feel that Reznik, Popov have enough attacking options with the jump serve, the blocking pressure to really get back into this game. They've gone on to Luini De Groot, and in turn they've got themselves back to 1. It's the Netherlands now that need to take a timeout. This game is starting to ebb and flow just like we want it to. Only one team will play for gold. The next semi-final, mouth-watering as well. Armin Helvig, who beat Perisic and Schweiner in the final last year in Munich, will be up against Kotofather Nikolai. Nikolai looking for European Championship number 4. Tight set again. Reznik's in the game, but he can't quite maneuver himself to keep the ball alive with the scoop. That tight ball, that joust, where so much of the time the smaller player wins it just because they're pushing upwards into the big hands of Big Eddie. we have a challenge looking for a net fault here. Net touch on Jurek, yes, what a great challenge. Eddie, big eyes, Reznik. And have a look at what everything means to him. He was done with beach volleyball a good 20 kgs heavier 2 years ago, and now look. He's absolutely flying. Short ball on Luini De Groot again. This time he's on the left side, and Reznik is there again. Fired up, big Rez. Passes out of rhythm, sets too tight. Reznik comes alive. Misserve, but they're starting to get some rhythm and some momentum. Remember, it's a very slow start in this second set. Luini De Groot. Fast. Great defense from Jurek again. That's a transition set that might just score. No, Popov does knuckle the ball off the net though, so a chance defensively will come for the Dutch, but it's not a chance, it's an error from Popov. That transition set from Luini was saying how he's a little bit rusty in that skill at times. He manages to get the ball into a zone where the group can still attack. Tight pass for Popov, needs to side out here, sat in the seam. Luini De Groot then comes over the left shoulder. Tough swing from Luini De Groot. Reznik having to really work hard to get that set to Popov, but just here again, running the ball wide, making it very difficult for Reznik to dominate the net. Popov's going late to the line, and he's beaten by speed by that man there. 23 years old from Silidric. Was an under 20 winner in Gothenburg in 2019, playing with Matthew Wimmers. He's looking for that first senior gold medal today. He's got a big day on his hands, as have this pair here, looking for the first medal for the Ukraine. Both teams have used a timeout already. Just shows there's a little bit of pressure. Teams struggling to side out at times. Luini De Groot now having to answer some questions of the Ukrainian serve. Change of sides as well. They both like playing on the left side, this pairing. So not only are they without a blocker, they're also having to figure out who plays on the right side. And there's a certain art to both. Service post timeout. Luini from the right side. This time the ball's a little bit inside with the set. Luini tries to get inside the ball. He just leans, and as soon as he leans, he runs out of room. Big Rez. And how Reznik responds through these next 15 minutes or so will be key. He hasn't quite had the blocking game that he's had previously. Starting to hit on two, take the pressure off of Popov. He loves coming back cross-body on that second ball attack. This time, Luini De Groot from the left side, and that's a beautiful cross line from Luini De Groot. We saw it previously in transition after he'd made a dig, and now inside out, jumping into the angle, Reznik. And as soon as Luini De Groot sees him, you know he's going to take on the defender. He'll back himself all day with a little bit of space to the line. We saw that knuckle back to the sideline over the top of the block from Popov earlier on. Goes really nicely with the sharp angle attack working together, but the Dutch again are everywhere here. Team double defense are defending everything. And although the Ukraine were knocking on the door, it's the Dutchies that are pulling away once again here. What a shot of Luini. Full stretch, trying to get his shoulders around the ball, but then it's Luini scurrying for everything. And they have to fight for their chances in transition. But my oh my, when they do fight for their chances and they get them, they put the ball away. Big Rez on one knee. Popov on the turn. Luini on two. It's an excellent touch from Popov. But the never say die attitude of the Netherlands is working out again. Right-handed attack, the weak hand from Reznik. Too soft in the end. And the Netherlands work their way through yet another rally to pull away here. This is a sensational story unfolding in front of our eyes. They've moved Reznik well. They've taken his block out of the game for long periods, even in transition using the second ball. Now they go after him. And that's all about the height of Eddie Reznik. You feel that they're going to have one more chance. Going high over the block in any situation is going to favour Reznik. De Groot knows that. Luini passes on an angle now. He's on the right side. He goes out the back. And this is really interesting because one moment Luini's on the left, then De Groot's on the left. And Ukraine is starting to see that if they just keep serving the right side, both players are a little bit more uncomfortable on that side, and in turn they might just get a few more blocks or force a couple of errors. Do we see Luini go back to the left is the question. No is the answer. He passes a lot straighter this time though, Luini. Popov is there. Huge point for the Ukraine, this high line. Good run here from Popov Reznik. Hold on to your hats because Popov has started popping up everywhere. Reverse play, wide set this time, finds the gap, Luini De Groot, and that was the change back, wasn't it? Luini goes back to the left side. De Groot says, okay, I'll play on the right, but then he hits the back set to make him feel like he's on his more comfortable side outside, and yes, it moves Reznik as well, so lots of bonuses, or benefits even, for the Netherlands running that back set with Luini De Groot. We don't see it so much from Luini at the moment though, 2-point game. Popov goes sharp. And it's this sort of swing with the sharp angle that just goes hand in hand with that baby line that we've seen. If Luini De Groot sits around on the sharp angle, that short line ball isn't getting dug. It might get dug, it's Luini De Groot, but let's see. Short serve from Reznik. That takes some bravery from Eddie Reznik. My word, this game just keeps twisting and turning. Reznik again. Uncorks on that one. Second ball attack is smart from Luini De Groot. And in this situation, he understands that Reznik is serving, running into block. Again, he's not trying to do anything too complicated apart from test him. Stay high. Luini serving to the sideline. And it's fascinating to see. We speak about the depth of this Dutch program all the time, but for two defenders going this far and having a real chance of making a final of a European Championship is absolutely insane. And they take one step closer. What do we see next? Robbie Mewson, Stefan Bowermans play together. Reznik makes the block, and it's these small things that make a big difference. The cover is there, nullifying Reznik's block again. How many cover plays have the Dutch made today? All of these intentions certainly add up. Popov, stopped by Luini. And that could be game, set and match. Luini fast with the hands. Loving every second of this. Brilliant story for Luini. He's, well, Reznik gets one back. His season's been interrupted. Luini, as we have another look at that Reznik block, he needed one. It's to save the Ukrainian side out here. But Luini now siding out for match point. And Luini makes it look so easy. The pass is a little bit off the net, but Luini De Groot does a fantastic job, especially with that back set of just putting it in the slot over the shoulder. Reznik Popov beaten again. 2 match points for Luini De Groot. Reznik on 2. Fighting for their lives. The Ukraine back on 1. What a way to seal it from Luini De Groot. Spectacular. And they've done it. The unlikely lads from the Netherlands will fight for Holland's first gold medal since 2010 in a Euro beach volley on the men's side of things later on against Sweden or Italy. It's the Ukraine that will play for bronze. A fantastic performance from them. But De Groot and Luini have caught fire yesterday, knocking out the beach volley Vikings, and they've performed again. What a way to seal the deal from Luini De Groot. Oh my words, just when you think you've seen everything, you see 2 defenders in the modern game when European beach volleyball has never been tougher. And they've made it all the way to the finals, having never trained together before this week, let alone played a competition together. This is outstanding.
It's time to play for gold this afternoon. Let's move
Luini De Groot, 22-20, 21-18. Luini De Groot will play in his second European Championship final here in Vienna. Luini plays in his first. There are the stats. 13 errors. But really, it was the attacks that's so impressive. We spoke about the high side out percentage before this game, and I think it was off the radar again. Blocks 3 from Reznik. That's a good day in the office for Luini and De Groot to stop Reznik running the game. Remember, 36 blocks in this competition for Reznik so far, but Luini and De Groot, their side-out play has been on another level.
I think that also creates like a dynamic flow that we can switch positions and just keep